Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Monday, March 20th, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comment section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. Sacramento Kings vs Utah Jazz. The Kings have won 3 straight against the spread and 6 of the last 7. They have won 7 straight on the road against the spread. The Jazz has won 5 straight against the spread and are 2-1 Austrian shillings at home in their last 3. The Kings took advantage of Utah's defense, 47.5% shooting percentage allowed this season, 16th in NBA, by hitting 53.5% of their shots from the field in their last meeting earlier this year. Sacramento is currently ranked first in the NBA in scoring, 121.1 ppg. While they do score fewer points on the road on average, 121.1 ppg at home versus 117.9 ppg on the road, they also let up fewer points, 118.2 ppg at home versus 117.1 ppg on the road. With the Kings' strong performances on the road recently taking away a true home court advance for the Jazz, look for the red-hot high-scoring Sacramento offense to prove too much for Utah in the end. Take Sacramento minus 5.5 points. Utah has gone over the point total in 4 straight games and have pushed or gone over in 7 straight. Their opponents have scored at least 118 points in 6 of the last 7. The Kings have gone over in 3 of their last 5 games. They have not scored less than 100 points since January 25. Both teams score in bunches. Sacramento is currently averaging the most points per game in the NBA, and Utah is ranked 6th. The Kings rank near the bottom of the league in several key defensive categories. The Jazz and Sacramento currently rank 12th and 10th in pace of play respectively. Most signs point to a higher scoring affair. Look for this game to go over 242.5 points. Chicago Bulls vs Philadelphia 76ers. How does one bet against Philly at this point, given the run they are on? They have won 8 straight and 9 of their last 10, and are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games. They won their last 3 games on the road and are returning home for this one, so the appreciative Philly fans should give them an added boost. They then turn around and head out on the road again after this one, and that will be a tough stretch. It starts with Chicago again, at Chicago, and that could be a Philly loss. But for this one on Monday, they will be happy to be home, and they will take care of business. Take the Sixers to cover. Taking the under in this matchup for a couple of reasons. The 76ers scored 140 points in their previous game, so I expect a little overcompensation from the sportsbooks and regression from the 76ers. Both teams also rank in the top 10 in terms of adjusted defensive rating, with the Bulls ranking 6th, while the 76ers rank 9th, and both teams rank below average in terms of pace, with the Bulls ranking 16th and the 76ers ranking 26th. With this lower pace we will see fewer possessions and in turn fewer points. In terms of trends, the Bulls love going under, having gone under in their past 6 road games against a team with a winning home record, in their past 5 games against a team with a winning record, and in 11 of their past 13 games, following an against a spread win. Meanwhile, the 76ers have gone under in 3 of their past 4 home games, with one of those games being a push when their opponent has a losing record on the road. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the under for this matchup. Take under 224.5 points. Indiana Pacers vs Charlotte Hornets. Both teams have struggled this season, with the Pacers falling apart in January and most of February, before regrouping a bit of late. Injuries have taken a toll on Indiana of late, but they still find themselves within striking distance of a spot in the play-in tournament as we hit the final month of the regular season. Charlotte is one of the 4 teams eliminated from playoff contention already, as they have had issues putting games in the win column all season. The Hornets have their work cut out for them staying motivated in any form down the stretch. With something to play for, Indiana at least has motivation, and that may be enough for them to take down a fading Charlotte squad. Our team pick is Indiana Pacers. Charlotte is 6th with respect to pace of play entering this Eastern Conference road tilt with Indiana. Both teams like to crank up the tempo, with the Pacers coming in 9th in pace. And, both teams are mediocre on the defensive end. Indiana is 26th in defensive rating, while Charlotte is 21st. This looks like a back and forth game with zero defense played, and I expect the Pacers to pull away in the second half. Indiana is 28th in rebounding percentage, so although the Hornets are struggling to shoot the ball, they can get some easy second chance buckets at the rim. Take the over 232 points. Minnesota Timberwolves vs New York Knicks. The New York Knicks guaranteed just their second winning season in their last 10 when they clipped the Nuggets 116-110 at home Saturday. Julius Randle made critical baskets down the stretch and finished with 20. But the driving force for the Knicks this season has been the play of Jalen Brunson. Brunson had missed 5 of the last 6 games and made it through only half of the one game he did play because of soreness. With their point guard back, the Knicks won their 3rd straight and sit comfortably in a very competitive Eastern Conference playoff race. They are 5th in offensive rating, lending credence to how good Brunson has been for them. Take the Knicks minus 7.5 points and to win big at home. The Timberwolves suffered a huge blow the other night, losing Anthony Edwards to an ankle injury. They have already been without Karl Anthony Towns for the last 3 months, and this latest development puts a huge damper on their postseason hopes and potential success. I can see the Knicks hopping all over a disheartened Timberwolves team, putting the defensive clamps on and coasting for the remainder of the game. Minnesota is 26th in turnovers, leading to easy buckets for New York and a 20-point lead after halftime. Minnesota simply lacks any scoring punch without Edwards around. Take the under with confidence. Golden State Warriors vs Houston Rockets. The Warriors come in slumping, but the undisciplined Rockets should be just what the doctor ordered for them on Monday night. Golden State should feast on Houston's struggles to cover the perimeter and will be happy to play this game at an up-tempo pace thanks to what should be a bevy of turnovers between the two teams. I am confident that the Warriors will see a major bounce-back game from the Splash Brothers on Monday night and pull away quickly from the hapless Rockets. Golden State is 9-1 in the last 10 meetings with Houston and, with 10 games left on the schedule, this is a must-win for the defending champs. The Rockets are also just 2-9 in the second game of back-to-back games this season. Take Golden State minus 9.5 points. Golden State is the fastest team in the league in terms of possessions per game, and they've played their fastest basketball on the road. Houston, meanwhile, should be able to find success down low and on the offensive glass, which will allow for several second chance points. Houston has struggled defending the perimeter, and this will allow the Warriors to get bounced back from their laggard shooting performance of late. Both squads also sit in the bottom 10 in opponent free throw attempts per contest. The play is the over 237.5 points. Dallas Mavericks vs Memphis Grizzlies. The Mavericks have their own date with Golden State looming on deck, and given that Dallas and Golden State are separated by 0.5 games in the standings for that number 6 seed in the Western Conference, I wouldn't be surprised to see Dallas rest Luka one more game. With that being the framework for this handicap, it is the home side that I've got to back here for a number of reasons. 1. Memphis has been slightly undervalued, especially at home in these games without Morant. But supporting casts tend to always play better at home in almost every level of basketball, so another strong offensive night from Memphis is what I expect. The fact that Dallas is prone to give it up as well always helps. Obviously, I can't ignore the home splits that have carried Memphis to the upper echelon of the Western Conference this year either, and I'd like to believe the top defense in the league will have a plan to contain the one-man show that is Kyrie Irving. Basketball is a game of superstars, but great team defense can always contain superstars to a degree and force others to beat them, and in this particular matchup, I think that works out in the Grizzlies' favor more times than not. A Memphis win virtually locks up the Southwest Division for the Grizzlies this year as well, as the home side uses all those edges to bring home a SU and ATS win here. Our team pick is Memphis minus 1 point. Despite the defensive struggles that Dallas has recently had, the Mavericks are actually 1-4 OU in their last 6 games, only cashing an over ticket in that OT win in San Antonio. Taking away the point production that the Irving-Doncic combo brings nightly will do that, and even with half of that combo back on the floor, how much success he has against the league's top defense is questionable. The Mavericks couldn't even average 100 points in 2 games against Memphis without Irving-Doncic, and that is a flip that's not likely to get flipped quickly. At the same time, Memphis without Morant is not a team I expect to score 130 plus in consecutive outings, and the last time they scored 130 plus was in that March 9th win over Golden State. The following game for Memphis then was a home game against Dallas, and the Grizzlies scored only 112 despite 48% shooting from the floor. That Dallas-Memphis game stayed under the closing total, and I believe this one will as well for similar reasons. In a game that means a lot for playoff scenarios for both sides, a division battle sees the defenses on both sides step up and do their part in keeping this one below the number. Our total pick is under 222.5 points.